You know how we have like lake effect, like snow and stuff, right?
Yes, it happens in Michigan, yes.
Yeah. There's also the Lang effect. TJ Lang.
Oh.
He tweeted something last night, and I think some of you can relate to this. I think at some point we all have noticed this. He says, Pistons are pulling me back into watching hoops. I love the way they play, old school mentality. They get under their opponent's skin. So good to see some toughness coming back. The Lang effect.
Yeah.
He's not a hoops guy.
No, he's not a hoops guy. He's more of a hockey guy, obviously football guy.
Yeah.
Simple-minded individual because he's a guard. And it's somewhat easy to please.
Hey, better late than never, TJ.
Right. So I don't know that necessarily last night against the Wizards was a gritty, tough win. The Wizards blow, and they're going to play again Thursday night.
The Wizards wanted to make it a gritty game, throwing elbows around.
They're gonna fight in air quotes all the way to the end. But yeah, it was just another nice win, and they'll get that opportunity again against the Wizards in a back-to-back, which is weird in the NBA that they do this. I know they've been doing it the last couple of years. But the big one, TJ, tune in Saturday night. OKC. There's some buildup leading into Saturday night. Can they do what they did against Boston? But I don't know that that the Pistons are drawing me into watching basketball. We're obviously going to be watching more basketball because we have conference tournaments this week in college basketball. We have March Madness. Selection Sunday is Sunday. We've got the tournament starting next week. Like there are certain things on the calendar that you're just, as a sports fan, pre-programmed to be excited about and watch. But the NBA, the Pistons, TJ's right, the Pistons aren't your typical NBA team. They're not playing in typical NBA fashion. They are fun to watch. They are exciting. And some of it is, it's been so long. It has been so long since the Pistons have been interesting. And now they are. But it's their style of play. They're young. They're aggressive. They're exciting. They're fun to watch. And even the quote-unquote old guys, Uncle T, he goes for 12 last night. Now that he's back from whatever situation he was dealing with, he brings a bit of energy. And the guy who I think should be the sixth man of the year, Malik Beasley, call it silly, call it whatever you want. But the shimmy that he has, there's always something that he does after a big play. And you could tell that they're having fun playing basketball. And as a fan, that's what you want to see.
Beasley hit a shot at the end of the third quarter. It was basically his time expired.
Right.
And he does a little shimmy, and they were in control the entire way. I mean, the Pistons were up 20 points in that second half in complete control of the game. They defend, they run. Asar Thompson makes 2 or 3 plays every single game that you go, wow.
Yeah.
That there's more here with him. Cade, of course, has made his case to be a star and maybe even a superstar now. And guys are filling in alongside him. Like the roles are defined on this team. Beasley knows I'm the knockdown shooter. Hardaway Jr. and Tobias Harris know they're the calming veteran presence on this team. Everybody knows their role on this team, and that starts from coaching staff, setting the tone, and Bickerstaff has a case for Coach of the Year. He won't win it, but he has a case for Coach of the Year.
A case. He should be Coach of the Year. And I just, from where the Pistons were last year. Now, I know we've talked about the additions that have been added to this roster and how it has unlocked Cade Cunningham. Some of it's just his development and his growth. A lot of it is the offense. But it's the belief. It's the day-to-day operation that is the head coach that has gotten this team from a 14-win team to a 37-29, sitting in the 6th spot, actually tied 0.002 percentage points away from being a 3-way tie for 4th place.
They're effectively tied for 4th place.
Right. They play 2 more games, than who is in front of them? Then the Indiana Pacers, and as well as the Bucks. Yeah. All right. So, without doing anything, they could be in 4th place in a matter of days. Because I'm not going to sit there and say the game on Thursday night against Washington is a gimme. Should be. But
they'll be double-digit favorites.
Yes, and they should win.
And they should win.
All right, so they get to 38. What happens with Milwaukee? What happens with Indiana? This is the pleasure that we have now of watching the Pistons is they will be a playoff team. They will be in a postseason, and they're playing a fun brand of basketball. If you haven't tuned in or if you've been waiting, don't wait anymore. It's fun to watch the Pistons right now.
Even if the league is not appealing, the Pistons are. Mm-hmm. We continue to say this is a team that you can be proud of. This is a team that plays the way the city wants basketball played. Tenacious on defense. Since January 1st, they're the best defense in the NBA. They run, they rebound, and they win. I think that's the biggest thing. They've been so bad for so long. They win games. You mentioned, they're a playoff team, and we can't see a world where they fall out of it. I mean, they've got a huge cushion right now. There's 16 games to go. John, I think it's more likely they'd get to 50 wins than it is they'd fall out of the playoffs. Like, the answer is somewhere in the middle. They'll probably end up winning high 40s. And where that gets them, I mean, we can explore that. There's some fun storylines as the season starts to really to ramp up here. I mean, in previous years, this is kind of a wind down, lottery luck, what's going to happen with the ping pong balls. And now 6:35, we'll get into it a little more, the idea of how this shapes and who you want to play and could you even get home court for an NBA playoff series. All of it's on the table because of the way they play.
Because of the way they play and the expectations going into the season. We thought it might be a bit of a stretch if they went from 14 wins last year to 28. Mm-hmm. If they could just double their win total, they more than likely will triple their win total from last year.
Yep.
And that's why I think going from a franchise historic awful season to then tripling or bettering that record in terms of wins, JB should definitely be coach of the year.
Now it's got me wondering, and the time to do it is not live on the air, but we should try to research what is the largest season turnaround in NBA history, because I would think tripling your win total has to put you in potentially that category.
Yeah,
we can look into it. We got time to research it. They got time to achieve it. 248-539-9797. Couple ticket texts to kick off the show here. This one says the moment of the season may have been when Malik Beasley made the case to stay before the deadline. Would you agree with that as being kind of an underrated moment for this team?
Oh, Malik, not trading him away, not selling him?
But him vocalizing it even before the deadline. I mean, clearly you want him to tell Trajan Langdon privately, but to publicly say, this is where I want to be, I don't want to be traded, I think that's huge for the culture, clearly the on-court. Underrated. It had nothing to do with a shot he made in a game, but a signal that things had changed.
Yeah, guys actually wanted to be here?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that it definitely was a signal. And to have a guy go public with, this is where I want to be.
Ticket Texture says, Pistons are easily the most exciting team to watch in the league. What's not to love about this group? Texture says, I put them down for 35-plus wins before the season. 30% profit token. I'm mad I didn't do more.
We have the turnaround answer.
Oh, we do?
All right, so these will all have something in common, by the way.
Okay.
The Sporting News put together the greatest one-season turnarounds in NBA history.
Okay.
2008 Celtics, 42 wins. They acquired KG and Ray Allen.
Oh, they improved by 42 wins.
Correct.
Wow. Yeah.
98 Spurs, 36 wins.
That would have been Duncan.
Won the lottery, got Tim Duncan. 1990 San Antonio Spurs, 35 wins.
Is that David Robinson?
Got David Robinson after his naval career. Phoenix Suns, 2005, 33 wins.
They had Nash?
Steve Nash.
Yeah.
They added Steve Nash. 1980 Boston Celtics, 32 wins. Added Larry Bird.
Yeah.
We did not add Larry Bird, Steve Nash, Kevin Garnett, or Tim Duncan to the Pistons.
It's a great point.
Yes. And again, that's why I think
wow, that's a great
JB should be coach of the year, because they didn't add that individual.
The alternative is Cade Cunningham, is Tim Duncan, Larry Bird. I love that scenario, too. That's also pretty great.
I agree. Are we going to look back on this and have that conversation where we're talking about, the 2008 Celtics and we're talking about the 90 Celtics or whoever it is, And we're talking about adding all of these Hall of Famers.
MVPs in a lot of cases, right? Larry's got an MVP. Duncan's got MVPs. Steve Nash has got MVPs.
Yeah. In 5 years, we're going, remember that 2024-25 season and Cade Cunningham and him becoming not just a star, a superstar.
I like this. Scenario 1 is we have the greatest coach in the league. Scenario 2 is we have a future multi-MVP
Hall of Famer. Yeah, which we're not giving him.
No, I know.
Whatever they wear at the NBA Hall of Fame. Is it it's not a yellow jacket. Do they get jackets in the NBA? No, I don't know.